The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Y'all started from PBS Kids, what you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. Alright, so if you're familiar with my work, you would know that I often make the comparison of the HBO series Euphoria and the Zagtoon series Miraculous Ladybug. The statement I usually say is, Miraculous Ladybug is the animation equivalent of Euphoria. And that statement confuses people, rightfully so, because these two shows are completely different in terms of story, fashion, ratings. But the reason I say this is because not only do the creators remind me of each other in not so positive ways, but the series both have similarities with how the public responds to them. Despite these shows being extremely fucking different from one another, these are both things that people watch because they're a mess. A hot mess to be exact. Miraculous Ladybug and Euphoria are known for being series that people enjoy watching, but also enjoy dragging because of that. The way the public responds to both of these series is about the same because both of them suffer from messy writing. Yes, believe it or not, Miraculous Ladybug and Euphoria have so many similarities because their creators fail in the same departments regarding the nuances of writing. Cute visuals, good acting, fun sequences, and the music can only do so much for your work because it will forever fall flat if what's on the paper isn't well done. Like what Sam Levinson did with Malcolm and Marie, Thomas Astruck put himself in his series Miraculous Ladybug, going off on the audience about how they don't appreciate what he does. While yes, thank you Astruck for giving us a show that we enjoy, just because we like it doesn't take away from the fact that the story dances in circles and you rely on tired tropes to write your characters of color, including the black girl. If you're interested, I talk more about this in my book that I wrote with my friend Amaya Janelle titled Do Not Call Me Sis, which is a collection of essays about fandom, misogyny, white feminism, and ableism. The link will be down below for the digital copies and the audiobook. Now that section of the book, I was talking about how both of these shows share similarities when it comes to its writing issues. But I've noticed something that has been going on since 2022 after Euphoria Season 2 aired. When something has atrocious writing, the topic of Euphoria tends to come up. It used to be the CW's Riverdale, but now it's Euphoria. Why do we always have something to say about Euphoria despite it being mid? What is so special about this show that we use it to drag other things? Hey y'all, it's Harriana and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing today? My name is Harriana and welcome back to The Pirate Ship, also known as Harry Hook's Pirate Ship. I am the captain, you are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why? Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana and I like to make content based on nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Euphoria is the one series that I can always tell you about, despite it not falling in my niche at all. It is not a series that comes on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney or just like family related, and it's not nostalgia either because the series came out when I was an adult. But it is just something that infuriates me and frustrates me so much that I just can't help but talk about it, and I have just made it an exception on this channel. Everybody knows me. If you're familiar with my work, Euphoria is that one thing I'm always gonna make an exception for when it comes to my niche. Now, I am just gonna talk about why we constantly keep speaking about the show, because it is a contribution to why I always, give it a pass when it comes to the type of content I make. This is the one thing that is just Euphoria is just something I'm always gonna have something to say about, but it's something that people constantly bring up, and I just wanna, do a kind of little deep dive about why does Euphoria stay in our mouths. But before we begin, I just want to let you guys know I feel like I shouldn't be apologizing for this, but I know someone might go off on me about this. But in this video, you're going to be seeing me reusing footage from other art commentary videos that I have done. As you guys know, Mother's Day is this weekend. I have just not been doing well, and I haven't really been having much time to draw because I've been so busy with my shop and taking care of that stuff. I just haven't really been able to draw. I have been drawing in my sketchbook, but I have not been able to draw on Clip Studio Paint because that's the service that you all see me draw my, digital art in. So I am going to be reusing speed art footage from other art commentary videos that I have done recently, mainly because I just don't have any to show you all. I hope this doesn't upset you if you've seen this before, but just please give me some grace on this. I'm dealing with a lot at the moment. So I have a few talking points that I want to touch on when it comes to why we just keep talking about Euphoria, and let's go ahead and get into the first one. And it was something that I mentioned in the crack shipping video that is very relevant to what we're speaking about now. In my video about crack shipping, I said that Frozen and Jujutsu Kaisen feel more like pop culture phenomenons than franchises. Euphoria can be thrown into that mix too. But what exactly do I mean by that? Well, Frozen literally took the internet by storm when it came out, as it literally fucked up Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons. And how Jujutsu Kaisen literally trends every single time a new chapter comes out. On top of the fact that these two things are extremely popular and they have crossed over, because if you guys are not familiar, Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen and Elsa from Frozen have been shipped together, and yes, I ship it. I love Gojo and Elsa together. Y'all can't make me hate it. It's cute. It's cute to me. It's giving enemies to lovers. But anyway, back on topic. When the first season of Euphoria came out, it was a bit so-so, I say. I remember it trending on social media quite often, but the way it trended on social media in 2022, it's not the same way as it was when it first came out. Mind you, I was a part of that crowd that thought Euphoria was mid from the jump. I was not a fan of it in 2019, but in 2022, when so many of the problems became like, let me tell you, the writing problems with Euphoria went from like a 7 to a 10 in season 2, and it just became a bit harder for people to ignore it. Euphoria started to feel more like an event than a series itself. Everybody on every single last social media platform that I was on, I'm not even joking, even fucking Pinterest, we all were sat on Sunday night seeing what the fuck happened on Euphoria for 8 weeks straight. A lot of us even skipped the Super Bowl to watch Euphoria. And you want to know why we were watching it? We weren't watching it because we thought it was good. We were watching it because it was a literal dumpster fire and we wanted to know what the fuck could possibly happen next. People were simply watching Euphoria for the content people were making out of it. People were watching Euphoria simply because they knew it would get them views on YouTube if they did weekly recaps of it. People knew that they would get follows on their accounts if they were making memes from Euphoria. I hate to say it, but if you can make people laugh, yeah, your show, whatever the fuck you made, it's gonna start to feel more like a pop culture phenomenon instead of media. Because that's literally what happens with pretty much all the Disney princess films, and that's what's happening right now with Jujutsu Kaisen. And there are a lot of people who literally get into things because they want to understand the memes. It's a FOMO thing, because a lot of people were talking about how they simply got into Euphoria because they saw everybody on social media talking about it and they wanted to understand what was going on. People have stated that they got into Jujutsu Kaisen too because they were confused by the memes. I remember when the first Black Panther film came out, a lot of people were talking about how they were happy that they watched it because they could finally understand the memes of what were going on. As much as people don't want to admit it, memes can make something popular. And I'm guilty of this. I have literally watched and read shit because I wanted to understand the memes that people were making from it. You might have never watched Euphoria, but you are familiar with it enough to know why it's so messy. I have people who have never watched Euphoria a day in their life, but they can tell me who all the characters are because of how often they saw them on social media. Now, moving forward to my next point I want to talk about, people have caught on that Sam Levinson, the Euphoria creator, people have caught on that his other work isn't good, nor is it worth watching. And my point exactly about this is that a lot of people didn't want to see the flaws in the first season of Euphoria, but in between that time period of when season 1 and season 2 of Euphoria came out, he had a film called Malcolm and Marie. I talk about that quite a lot in me and Amaya's book. Please check that out if you are interested. But Malcolm and Marie really did start to highlight the flaws with his writing. And it was a bit harder to ignore with Malcolm and Marie because Euphoria has an ensemble cast. Malcolm and Marie only has 2 fucking people in the entire film. And when you make something that is basically a two-hander, you are so limited on what you can do storytelling-wise. Because of that limitation on what Sam could do, it showed on screen a lot more poorly than it did in the first season of Euphoria. Like, it was so messy that the pretty visuals and the soundtrack couldn't cover it up. Mind you, I have a big problem with another film Sam Levinson had made before Malcolm and Marie and before he was, doing Euphoria, and that was Assassination Nation. I think Assassination Nation is an awful film. No one could ever convince me that it's good. I hate it. And a lot of people had no idea that Sam Levinson made Assassination Nation, and they were like, you know what? He did make that movie because stuff's starting to add up. Shit is starting to look very repetitive. But because season 2 of Euphoria was just a giant train wreck to the point where it was extremely hard to ignore, Sam Levinson now is like, one of the horsemen of the apocalypse of bad writing. While Miraculous Ladybug's writing has always been a bit sloppy from the beginning, it started to get noticeably bad during the 3rd season. And that is why I make that comparison there just as well, as I explained in the introduction. But like I said, during this time period, Euphoria season 2, that was like pretty much everything that Sam Levinson had at the time. But then we ended up getting a series called The Idol that I, to this day, still have not fucking watched, and I will never watch it. And I think The Idol highlighted Sam Levinson at his worst. And it's a lot more frustrating for people because we find out that The Idol was completely different in the original run before Sam Levinson took over and ended up doing a whole 180 on it. From all that I have gathered about The Idol from the video essays and commentary essays and blog posts that I have read about people's frustrations with this series, not only was it disgustingly erotic, erotic to the point where it was extremely distasteful, but it was boring. The dialogue was dry. It was uninteresting. It was just a boring atrocity. And once The Idol came out, a lot of people made up their mind about how they felt about Euphoria season 3, and we were like, yeah, you can keep that. I think a lot of people realized that The Idol was just so terrible because Zendaya and plenty other cast members that are heavily associated with Sam Levinson, like Maude Apatow and Sydney Sweeney, they weren't even there to make up for how sloppy it was put together. And I find it really sad that The Idol was so terrible because the visuals were stunning. I had some opinions about them outfits that they had Jocelyn in because some of them shits was just ugly. But The Idol is a series that makes me so upset because Sam Levinson has so many misogynistic undertones with his writing, it will forever fall flat until he realizes that's something that he just needs to work on. And that's okay. We all struggle with certain things that we write, but these have been the same writing problems since Assassination Nation. Hey guys, it's Harry. I wanted to take a quick break from today's video and tell you guys about the new things that I have coming for my shop. For those of you guys who don't know, I do have a shop where I sell things inspired by pretty much the things I like in pop culture. I sell bonnets, t-shirts, lip glosses, all of that good stuff. Let me show you guys some of what I got, including I may or may not be a Choso simp.
That don't mean it's a lifetime thing. I can
Okay, the next talking point I want to bring up about why we keep talking about Euphoria is because we keep getting news about Euphoria, but we're not getting any new Euphoria. And when I say news about Euphoria, every other day, it is something new regarding this series. I don't know if you guys were familiar with a video that I made last year. I didn't know about this until one of you had messaged me about it, and it was regarding Petra Collins. And I have spoken about Petra Collins before, and I think some of you have caught on to the fact that I take a lot of inspiration with my cosplays from her work. Come to find out, yeah, Sam Levinson stole Euphoria from Petra Collins. I made an entire video on it, so that's why I'm not going to spend too long on this section right here. I will have the link to that down below if anyone is interested in watching that. But we get that news right there about, you know, Euphoria being fraudulent, but we keep getting news about the delay of Euphoria. Euphoria season 2 ended in 2022, and it is currently 2024, and nothing new has been filmed for the series. What's frustrating me the most about this is that it keeps getting written off as, oh, the cast are having scheduling conflicts, which I do think is true because you have some newer household names that are a part of Euphoria that are constantly getting work. We have Zendaya, and everyone knows Zendaya at this point, okay? But we also have Jacob Elordi, and then we also have Sydney Sweeney. I say those are like the big three when it comes to Euphoria, and I'm pretty sure that Maude Apatow, she has been working on Broadway. But also, Storm Reid is slowly becoming a household name. She is an amazing actor, by the way. If you guys have not seen Missing, I highly recommend it. So yeah, we see that plenty of the cast members are getting work other places. Mind you, it's 2022, it is 2024 now. So at first, they said that the delay for Euphoria season 3 was the writer's strike, which is valid, I get it. Mind you, the writer's strike happened before the actor strike, and Sam Levinson is the only person in the writer's room. So, okay, you could have been doing stuff, but okay, Sam, since you don't want to let nobody else write, I personally, I just don't understand how Euphoria was affected by the writer's strike. I just don't. I just think Sam Levinson used that as an excuse to not write. Mind you, I don't know that man. This is just me making an assumption. I'm not trying to project or nothing like that, but I'm just being honest. I just don't think it was worth it. But also around the same time of that writer's strike, that is when The Idol was airing. So that probably had a lot to do with it. So I'm gonna give him some grace on that. But once the actor strike and the writer strike was over, yeah, they was like, yeah, Euphoria season 3 has been delayed. It is on hiatus. We are not sure of when we are going to do that. Because like I said, at first they were like, oh, it's on hiatus because the cast is busy. Understandable. But it is at the point now where they said Euphoria season 3 is delayed. But it's because of who knows what. And they told the actors that they can go and find other work. Correct me if I'm wrong about this. This is just what I remember reading up on. So it's really just coming down to the fact of, okay, season 3 is nowhere near being done. I personally think that season 3 is still in the brainstorming stages, okay? You know when you be writing out shit and then you just brainstorm it, but you don't actually write out what happens in it. You don't write out the plot. You don't write out the dialogue. Nothing is written out, but you just have a whole bunch of bullet points on what you want to do and what the intent is. I think that is what Euphoria season 3 is. And they said to make up for Euphoria season 3 taking so long to come out, it's going to do a time jump 5 years into the future, which isn't a problem. I personally think Sam Levinson needs to tell stories about older people. This time jump was already announced before the season 3 delay. And this announcement of the delay just had a lot of people just sick of it altogether. They were like, wait a minute, so Euphoria, we don't know if it's coming back. We don't know when it's coming back. Just cancel it because season 2 was atrocious. It's pretty clear that Sam Levinson doesn't know what to do with season 3. Let's just cut it, because I'm just tired. Like, cut it off. We can just make a 90-minute movie to wrap it all up and be done with it. And then this goes into my last talking point that I have, that many people don't want it to come back for very valid reasons. Okay? There are numerous videos about why people don't like Euphoria, and a lot of the talking points are the same, even though they are extremely valid. But this is one talking point that I don't think I have seen many people bring up, and that has to do with the fact that Sam Levinson had signed that thing. He signed that thing, but also, are you guys familiar with the origins of Euphoria? Euphoria is an Israeli show. It's based on an Israeli show specifically. So we already have that as the series' origins. And knowing that Sam Levinson had done something that was very anti-Palestine doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. And this reason right here is where a lot of people were like, yeah, cut it. Don't bring it back at all. Fuck that damn show. I don't care how much money it makes HBO and Warner Brothers. Because this is something that I had talked about in my video where I was talking about how I think we, as in like people that are fans of Miraculous Ladybug, need to have very limited interactions when it comes to the official team for this series, because they are not difficult to reach, because many of them are very anti-Palestine. And that right there is why a lot of people don't want Miraculous to come back either, me included. I have my same reasons for why I don't want Miraculous to come back. It's my same reason for why I don't want Euphoria to come back, because both the productions, it's regardless of the series not being good or well put together, despite the fact that we continue to tune into them to see them slowly destroy themselves day by day and little by little. It's just very unethical with the people that are behind it all. And I'm just tired. I know I get on here and I just run my mouth talking about Euphoria, but the reason we keep talking about Euphoria is because it is so relevant with so many of the problems we have with art today. There are thousands of shows out here, hundreds of stories, whatever the fuck, that are better than Euphoria. But guess what? They're never gonna probably get the same attention Euphoria has gotten. Did y'all know that Euphoria is not even 20 episodes yet? At this point, Euphoria is something that is known more for being dragged than it is being praised, and I kind of don't care. I tried to see the good in Euphoria season 1 despite me not liking it, but the more this goes on with this entire saga, because the mess that surrounds Euphoria is much longer than the actual series, just cut it all together. The creator behind it is the series itself is the cultural phenomenon that is Euphoria is the reason why season 3 is in production still. Season 3 of Euphoria is still in production because they know people are going to talk about it. It doesn't matter if Euphoria season 3 is good or bad. Euphoria no longer has to even try to be the bare minimum for people to look at it, because it is a staple in pop culture at the moment. That is the reason why we keep talking about Euphoria. Just like how we keep talking about Star Trek, just how we keep talking about Star Wars, even fucking Death Note. Death Note don't even have 50 episodes. It doesn't even have 40. Yet to this day, we still talk about it. But Death Note is something that is actually good. Euphoria is known for all the wrong reasons. And nowadays, when Euphoria comes up in a discussion, it is not positive. And that is so fucked up, because this series had the potential to be much better, but it's not. Hi, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This one was very much on the ranty side, but I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching my speed art again. It's been a lot, and I'm just trying my best. But to close out this, thank you guys for listening to me scream about how Euphoria just irritates the shit out of me and so many other people. Hope you all have a great Mother's Day weekend to those who celebrate. I know that this weekend can be heavy for a lot of people, including myself, but I wish everybody some peace this weekend. All right. Yeah, because of that, you guys are probably not gonna hear from me for a few days, because it's just it's in a very emotionally taxing time. So yeah, just just send me some positive vibes, please. If you've gotten to this part of the video, just say, what do I want you to say? Recommend a good book you've read, please. I've been looking for some new books to read, so recommend a good book you read. Mangas are accepted, comics are accepted, mangas are accepted. Cool with me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, night, whatever time of the day you chose to watch this video. I'm just thankful that you watched it with the ads on. All right, thank you. Goodbye.